The Japanese Pokemon card market is doing some weird things right now. I mean, some sets are absolutely exploding. Some are quietly kind of doing their thing, sneaking around, like being all, normal and stuff. And then some are acting like total losers right now. Looking at you, Munikis Zero. I'm going to look at those sets, the ones that I think are worth talking about right now, based off of what I've been seeing on my website and what I've been hearing from my customers, and also what I'm seeing and hearing from my Japanese suppliers. And I'm definitely curious to see what you guys think, if you agree with what I'm about to say, or like what you're seeing with your suppliers, if you're a seller. Definitely want to know what you think. If you're new here, my name is Alex. I run an online Pokemon card business called cardpenguin.com, and I am documenting my journey in building and growing my business, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if that sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing and hanging out to see more. So we got to talk about 151, right? That's the big one. That's one of the big ones right now. And oh man, Japanese or English, I love 151. I am an absolute sucker for any of the OGs, big time, childhood nostalgia, all that good stuff. It's been shooting up all of January. It's been trending up in February so far, although it's kind of evened out a little bit. I think we've hit that equilibrium of demand and market value, and it's so, but it will likely continue to rise, I think, due to chases, quality in the set, of course, and it just being the OGs, like I was saying. Also the first few sets around it, including 151. I mean, those are not going to be printed anymore, right? I mean, they're already talking about stopping that print run and phasing those out in that time period. So, I mean, that's only going to get it going up. The same can be said about English, right? I mean, look at the freaking booster bundle boxes. The booster bundle box is like $1,600 or more, probably more now. When I get this stuff, though, English, Japanese, if you can get it, that's gone. Like, that's liquid. That's good movement. The trick is getting it at a price that makes sense, right? Like, and we're talking about this from the perspective of a business, like an online store. For me, English, it's pretty much a no-go right now unless I can find it in a collection. A lot of people aren't letting go of it though right now. And for Japanese, it's there to get. It's not unavailable. The problem is there's kind of a disconnect between the Japanese and U.S. market with 151 right now, where the at least with my suppliers, I'm not like a big dog or anything like that, so maybe some people out there bigger than me are getting them at better prices, but I don't know. I don't think so. But, maybe some bulk discounts or something like that. But, the U.S. market is well under the cost to stock it right now. I mean, we're talking about it's probably 30% over market for me to get it right now. So it just doesn't make sense. But if I can find it in a collection, like I said, I'm picking it up. No problem. If I can even make 5 to 10% margin on that thing, I will do it because it is liquid and it will move fast. It's Terastal Festival. Like that man, that's going crazy. And just like Prismatic, we are just in that huge hype for those sets right now. And I'm not surprised, right? Like, I called it, not that that's like a genius call or anything like that. I'm sure tons of people called it. I mean, it's an EV-centric set, beautiful art, good quality, of course. I think we all saw this coming. And now with like the resurgence of that most recent print run, like you got Sam's Club and whatever, that's just generating more hype and popularity for it right now. And you can see the sales for that are just shooting up, and the prices are wild, man. And I'm saying if you can get it, if it is that Sam's Club bundle, like, sell that thing fully sealed, because I don't know if you know, but inside in that booster bundle, it is not technically what I would call being sealed. It's got like a little sticker on it. That doesn't do much for buyer confidence from what I'm hearing, and like from how I would be as a buyer. Like, I don't want to buy one of those because who knows, especially with the way things are right now. It's just and it sucks, right? It sucks, but it's the truth, and you don't know. You don't know, right? And if it's at least fully sealed in the set, you're a little bit more ease of mind. And I'm confident that it's going to be long-term massive. I don't think anyone's going to be surprised by that. There's no genius or controversial takes here. I'm not going to do a lot of editing on this video, so if I'm getting kind of like all over the place, and don't mind me. But here we are. Getting terrestrial. See, is not that bad either. The margins are getting a little slimmer, so I think I'm getting maybe 5-7%, something like that. I almost said 6, 7, but I didn't want to, but here I said it anyway. But that brings me to Black Bolt and White Flare. Now, holy crap, man! Like these have been just skyrocketing. People cannot get enough of these. Um, in Japanese and English. I would say, English a bit more. That has been like the chase here, but Japanese still has been doing pretty well. The English has been less jumpy. Japanese is like kind of catching up, relatively speaking. Like there's a huge spike in it right now. But man, there's just so many beautiful cards in there, and what feels like such a unique art style. And that's what I'm hearing from customers too, which is why I like it seems to be the one of the more sought after master sets right now. I mean, obviously you got like 151 as like the I probably one of the most common ones that I hear about, like for modern era master sets. Black Bolt and White Flare have been up there, and it's talked about all the time, all the time. I'll have this. I'll have this like the English. It's out of my reach. English and the Japanese at the next card show I go to. So I kind of want to report back on that and kind of see if that trend continues over the next couple weeks, or see what people are feeling about each one. Now we get like for me, I love this set, Glory of Team Rocket. And if we're talking Japanese, Glory of Team Rocket is so awesome. It has absolutely, as far as trending goes, price trends and charts, it's been following Destined Rivals, which is the English counterpart, if you're not aware. However, Destined Rivals, I think, has kind of met its peak from what I'm seeing on movement. I mean, if you go right now and look on TCG Player, you should see like a huge jump, and then it kind of peters out and goes. And I mean, that's just realistically because it's at like $600 now, or almost $600, and that kind of feels like a price ceiling in relation to the availability. I mean, it's not like they're super unavailable, right? I mean, it's still very much printed. That's where I think Glory of Team Rocket has the upper hand, and I think this is one of like the biggest movements to make for my business, which is like having this available. I definitely want to offer more Glory of Team Rocket, and I want to have it at card shows. And I want to see if it does as well as Destined Rivals has been doing at card shows, because it's just, to me, like it feels like a no-brainer, right? I mean, you have the same, you got the chase cards, you got the Mewtwo's, which is like crazy money. You got the Moltres and the Nido King, which are super cool. And again, these are OGs, right? It's Rocket and it's OGs, and people love Rocket and OGs. I know I do. You can pick up a booster box of Team Rocket for I'm trying to reach for one to show you. For Team Rocket for almost 5 times less than a Destined Rivals, right? And the pull rates should be better. The pull rates should be better with them. And the Rocket cards, like I said, they're super cool. Like they're so cool. So to me, it's just a no-brainer. I want to talk about one that's a little bit older as well. And this is the Obsidian Flame counterpart. Ruler of the Black Flame, another Charizard set. It's still performing strong. If you look at the numbers through 2026 so far, you got that beautiful Ninetales in there next to those Charizards. I do not foresee the desire for the set to go really, down much over time. Also being surrounded by much less popular sets, like Ancient Roar and Snow Hazard. But I'm gonna carry some more of this. I'm gonna get some in and test it and see kind of how it performs at card shows and put it up on more on the website. I have a feeling that it might do a little better in person, with it being like a little bit of an older Japanese set with the Charizards. I think people walking around be like, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna try to get one of those. All right, so now that we're talking about Charizards, we got to talk about the newer set with the Charizards, Inferno X. Now that's one that's been steady, right? That's been steady, not a ton of movement in price, which I think makes it like a continued safe option and for people, and just having that available has been good. I even like, if you check out a short that I put out yesterday, someone added that onto the order, where they actually bought Munikis Zero, and we'll get to that in a second. But they actually added it on, and that's not uncommon. Like that's been my biggest add-on. I don't know if that is helpful for anybody, but people love to add on those extra packs. That, like I said, it's been the most added on Japanese set. I've sold a box. I sold them at the last card show I went to. I had 3 boxes and I sold all 3 of them. They were pretty popular. I didn't sell any loose pack. I actually I don't even think I was offering loose packs, but nobody asked me about it either. But the boxes sold really well. Online, not so much. I haven't had any interest in them, but the loose packs have been weirdly good. But another thing with this one, at least for me with my suppliers, the margin's been kind of thin. But again, a steady mover. All right, then we got Mega Symphonia and Mega Brave. I just happen to have this one within arm's reach of me, so I wanted to grab it for a visual. Mega Symphonia and Mega Brave have been excellent performers, super steady, probably right next to Mega Dream. They are my most liquid right now, and they will just move. Like Mega Symphonia, especially, which is interesting with Mega Brave being, I think, the little bit more desirable set. With the like you got the Gardevoir and the Lucario. Lucario, of course, being in the Mega Dream, but you also have the Venusaur. Lots of Venusaur fans out there. But I mean, they're both good movers. For me personally, Mega Symphonia has been doing really well. I can't seem to hold on to that. It's literally almost up there with Mega Brave, or not Mega Brave. Mega Dream. Mega Dream. Definitely recommend grabbing some of this. Try it out if you're selling Japanese Pokemon. If you haven't tried it before, Mega Symphonia, Mega Brave. That's kind of been a backbone recently. All right, so the last ones we're going to talk about: Munikis 0, Nihil 0. That, as you probably know, if you're a seller or really just watching the market, it is not doing so good right now. I mean, I've barely sold much of it, and what I have sold, I've made either very little or nothing or lost a little bit on them, and that's fine. That happens. Uh, Look at it glass half full. You still got customers shopping with you, and you're building that trust. And sometimes they'll add something else on when they're checking out, and they're happy. So some people just want to buy a $75 box of Pokemon cards and open them with the family. So nothing wrong with that at all. I actually think it's a much needed cool down in the market right now, and Perfect Order is looking to be doing the same thing in English. So hopefully that's going to kind of help, get our footing and everything as we move on to the next set, which I think is going to be a little bit more hype, which is if you haven't seen yet, it's Ninja Spinner, which is going to end up being the counterpart to what seems to be called in English Chaos Rising, which will be in May. Ninja Spinner's in March, which actually will be releasing about the time Perfect Order does. But that one, because of the Frogman, we got the Frogman coming, Greninja. I think that's going to be a little bit more sought after, and there's going to be a little bit more hype around it. And I think we're going to see a nice upward tick of interest in that versus Munikis 0. If you're like new to selling Japanese cards, and you're like, okay, like that's the next one, like that's the set I'm getting in on to start selling. Please, I just have to say this: do not pre-order it. You should be smart enough to be able to see like the trending prices versus the price that it is from whatever supplier you may have found. But they're going to be charging a premium, like a big premium, for pre-ordering like really any Japanese set. And we're talking like mine, like 19,000 yen versus what's probably going to be around 10,000 yen upon release, which is almost double the price, right? And by the time it gets to release, nobody's paying that, and you're out big time. So don't pre-order. If you have a good supplier, they should have some pricing structure set up for you for around the release window. And I'll instill upon you this advice, which has also been given by many other Pokemon business YouTubers. PokeNE is one of them, Brian over at PokeNE. And I agree completely. You'll see the data as you're doing it, right? I mean, it'll be like maybe 12,000. They'll have like a price structure, right? It'll be 12,000 the day before release if you want it shipped out a day early. If you want it shipped out day of, it might go down to 10,000, and then the day after, like Saturday, Sunday, because they're always released on Fridays, you'll be looking at like 9,500, 9,200 yen for a lot of these sets, and you've just saved yourself a pretty penny on that one. And especially with tariffs going on right now, you have to watch every bit of margin you can. There's no need, obviously, to be buying like a day early or something just to be spending 10 extra dollars when you might only be making 15 or $20 on a box anyway. So that's massive margins when you're thinking about it that way. And remember, the Japanese suppliers, they are 12, 14, sometimes more hours ahead of you. So for them, they're on their Saturday, Sunday prices when it's still already like Friday, Saturday here. So you put in that order, you're still getting that thing within a week, right? You should be getting it like 3 to 5 days, 2 days sometimes from your suppliers. And that's from order to you. If you wait any longer than that, or if you got a supplier who's slower than that, then you're going to be missing out on the boat 9 times out of 10. And I definitely recommend that you look for a new supplier. If anyone's interested or is having trouble finding a good supplier, I'm not going to give away like exact sources or anything like that because I don't think they would appreciate that, but I can definitely help show the process I went through to go about finding them and letting you know what to look for. I think that's everything I had to talk about right now. That ended up being kind of a lot. Let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think about the Japanese market right now? What do you think the new set is going to bring? And do we find ourselves in a good or a bad spot with the current cooldown with Munikis 0 in perfect order? Let me know what you think. Definitely want to hear about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate you stopping by. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. And until next time, I will see you later.